with Keith Botelho. He normally drives the midgets, but today he is stepping into a legend car. Can you tell us anything different between the legend cars and the midgets?
Well, the midgets use racing tires, where the legend cars use like a street application tire, and it's quite a handful. It's more than I expected. It's not as quick or as fast through the corners. You know, it doesn't have the power that a midget has, but they're a handful. I was really surprised. Tough to drive.
Now, when you said that you took it out here earlier today, what's the difference between driving your midget and driving this today on the track?
It's a big difference. The midget, you barely lift out of the throttle at all. It's, you know, the tires are much bigger. They're made for racing, and you go much quicker through the corners. Where this car here, you really got to be careful when you're going in. If you don't keep the car straight, it just comes right around. And once it gets loose, you get on the gas, you spin out. I've already gone around twice in it today, so I can tell you it's not easy.
Well, how do you think you'll do today?
I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll be all right. The car seems to be okay. I think I've got to adjust my driving style to it. I'm just so used to going much quicker going into the corner with a midget here than I am with this. I'm getting myself in trouble, you know, more than the car is upsetting itself. So I'll be all right. I think I'll be okay.
Would there be any point in the future that you would consider driving these?
Yeah, maybe. You know, I'm getting up there in age now, and the back starts to hurt a little more when I wake up in the morning after the races. It's a lot of fun. I've taken a close look at it. My friend Greg Wazika that owns this car here, he's had it for quite a few years now, and he keeps telling me, you got to try it. So here I am.
Well, here's a question that I meant to ask you a little bit earlier. Why are you driving the car today?
I'm driving the car today for my friend. He was involved in a wreck last week. He's not feeling all that well. So he's a little banged up. He called me up in the middle of the week, asked me if we were running the midgets this weekend, and we're not. We have this weekend off. So I figured I'd come down to fill in, and I get a chance to try the car out before I actually do buy one, if that's what I'm looking for, Well,
that's a racer for you. Always looking to get in somebody's seat. Thank you very much for talking to us, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Back to the tracks. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Miles Briggs, and I am standing in front of Glenn Lawton, driving the BOC Gases Sportsman Division car. And today, have you guys gone out into the track at all for qualifyings or runs?
We've just done warm-ups so far. We got qualifying coming up in a few minutes.
Now, it's my understanding that you are running pretty close in the points driving the Sportsman divisions. And what did you start in?
This is the 8th division of sports, 8th year in the Sportsman division. Did 2 years in the street stock before that, so been around for a good 10 years around the cement palace here. But we seem to like it here in the Sportsman division for now.
Now, can you compare these street stocks compared to these? How are they handling? And obviously that they have a lot more power in them, but as far as handling it's coming into the corners and things like that?
There's a big difference. There's a lot more horsepower in these than a street stock, and tires are a big difference, and what you can do to the car to make it handle. It's a big difference. I talked to a couple of the rookies in the Sportsman division this year, and that's a hard time it's hard to get used to the cornering speed in the Sportsman. It takes a little bit to get used to. I don't remember back 8 years when I started, but I just know from the rules and what goes on that there is a big difference, definitely.
Well, do you have any sponsors or crew members you'd like to thank tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank every one of them. BOC Gases, LH Belanger, they both treated me very well. Of course, my father's business, Lawton's Garage, and George's Parts Service, Glassman Automotive, Paramount Construction, and I got one more, Bobby T's Machine. They've got me through the year so far. We know we got a lot of weeks left, but we'll do all right. We'll hold in tight.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, and good luck in the races tonight.
Thank you very much.
Everyone, back to the track.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Miles Briggs, and I am sitting here with Peter Fernandes, driver of
The 26 Cedarville Railroad car. Apparently you have won last week, and this is your rookie year.
That's correct. We kind of lucky enough to win. We finally tagged down a race and finally win one. We've actually gone, I think, 3 years now since we've had a win. So it felt pretty good.
Now, I talked to one of the drivers a little bit earlier who went from a street stock to Sportsman, but he said that it was too long ago for him to remember. So since it's your rookie year, you might be able to tell us a little bit more in detail on how much better these cars handle, or as far as the street stocks.
Well, when I was in the streets, I had a full coil car, so making the transition wasn't too difficult for us. We found out that there were a lot more adjustments we could make to the car. The car actually reacted like when you actually made a change. Where with the streeter, it was kind of like you had to do a lot more to get to get it to change, to get like anything on the chassis to change. So I mean, it is different. I mean, the speed's a little bit different, but like I think we've kind of like just coasted right into it. You know, the car really feels good to us, and you know, we had a great car. We started off with a great car. This was Bobby Leclerc's car from last year. I think he won 2 champions in it, and I think it from what he tells me, it's supposed to be the most winningest car in Seekonk for the Sportsman division.
Now, also some of the other things I noticed, some of the sponsors. Anything that you'd like to thank?
Definitely Gilly and Gary Lopes over at G Lopes Construction. They've been with us for the last, I want to say I think this is our 4th year, 3rd or 4th year with them. They've been awesome. They've helped us out really big in the streets. They've stayed with us when we moved up to the Sportsman. I really got to thank them and their family. They're great. You know, they've really gotten into this race. They've really gotten into racing. You know. And I can't say enough about them. I'd also like to thank a lot of the newer sponsors that we had this year: Earthworks Landscaping, the Carrot Shed, Edaville Railroad. I'd just like to thank everybody that's helped us. I mean, the guys that have been with us since we first started racing. I mean, and just the new people that we picked up this year. I'd just like to thank them.
Well, that win last week is sure going to help you into Rookie of the Year. Good luck for the rest of the year, and we're going back to the track. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am standing here with Joe Lemay, driver of the 17 Mike's Auto Repair from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, a local sponsor from where we're from. Joe, how well are you doing this year?
Well, we're just finishing every week, gaining on it every week. We're 10th in points. We hope to move up little by little here. We had a bad start. The first week we got disqualified because leaf spring bent on us and we didn't pass frame height. But since then we've been maintaining. I mean, we got a second, couple of tenths. Hopefully tonight the truck's running better. We can do better.
Now you've been racing for what, 23 years?
23 years. We started in 1976 in the street division at Westboro Speedway. Ran there till like 82. Then I jumped into a Pro 4 modified, my own car, and ran that till 93. Took about a year off, almost a year. Then Archie got a hold of me because he had to get operated on. Wanted me to drive his truck a couple of nights, and here I am. I'm still driving his truck.
Hey, do you have any other sponsors or people on your crew that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mike's Motor Service, Mendon, Mass. Does an excellent job with our motor. We have Northeast Race Cars, Brad LaFontaine. We'd like to thank him. We buy most of our parts there. J. Lemay Construction, which is my own construction company. We keep the truck at my shop, and I help Archie out with the truck too. Anytime Plumbing, we just picked up this new sponsor about 3 weeks ago. They just came aboard. We're real happy with them. And we have Baseline Graphics. They do all the lettering on the truck. They sponsor the truck too. I don't know if I forgot anybody, but I don't think so. If I did, I'm sorry.
Now you were telling me earlier that you had that you were supposed to have a ride for another division. What division was that, and what are your hopes for next year as far as getting into that division?
Well, we were supposedly going to have a ride in a pro stock, and it looked good, but the car was all done, and we didn't have. The owner of the car didn't have enough money to really get a good motor, so we kind of like stepped back and said we'll just sit out the year, and maybe next year I'll be driving that car. If not, maybe I'll have my own. It depends, you know. It depends on how good of a season I have with the business I have. I would like to have a pro stock, you know, but it also takes a lot of money to run a pro stock, you know.
So that's your hope for next year is to get into a pro stock?
Yeah, into a pro stock, and even if I have a pro stock, I'll probably still drive the truck for Archie, you know, because I like driving the truck. I like coming to Seekonk. It's close. I have a lot of fun here, you know.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us today, and good luck in the races tonight.
Thank you.
Back to the track. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miles Briggs, and I'm standing here with George Rego in front of the 64 Ashley Ford car. And to my understanding, you're about 5th or 6th in the point standings as of today?
Yeah, we're 6th place as of tonight. Yeah.
How well is your car hooked up tonight as far as out on the racetrack?
It's pretty much close. It just needs a little bit more tweaking. We'll know after the heat.
Now, a lot of my big questions I ask the drivers is usually like what they started in when they first started racing. Well, when did you first start racing, and when did you start racing in?
We started, actually,
I started in a street stock division driving for my brother, and then in 1986 we bought a Sportsman car, and I drove that until 92, and I was in a pro stock for 4 years, and now as of this year on my own I'm in this truck.
Now, how do you like the trucks as far as the driving regular cars?
I like it. It's not bad. I'm having fun. It's not really what I'd rather be in. I'd rather be in a pro stock, but I'm having fun, you know.
Do you have any sponsors or crew members that you'd like to thank tonight?
Yes, I do. I'd like to thank Ashley Ford, Cape Cod Roofing Systems, DB Mart, Buy Here, Pay Here, State Road Buy Here, Pay Here, M&L Hydraulics, and Raceway Auto and Trucks Repairs. And thanks to Peter Therian for fabricating the body for me. And I'd like to thank my pit crew, Keith, Kevin, Anna, Bruce, Kenny, who else? John, and Keith.
Well, the truck looks good tonight, and I hope it runs good tonight. Good luck tonight in the races, and we're going back to the track. I'm standing in front of the Baker Tractor number 11 car, and before I gotta ask you, they call you Vinny who? How did you get that name?
Late Richie Evans drove a modified. We're here at Seekonk Speedway. He couldn't pronounce my last name, and he gave me the name Vinny who.
So he couldn't pronounce your last name, so he just calls you Vinny who?
That's it.
Now, as far as racing-wise, how are you doing this year?
We haven't done too good except for last week. We had a terrible beginning, but last week we got a feature win, and hopefully we can pick up from there.
Now, you told me earlier before we started taping that you've been racing for 20, 25 years?
Yeah, approximately 25 years.
Now, what did you start in racing?
We started in what they call the old B division. It's similar to the Sportsman division.
And you eventually worked your way up into what you are now?
Well, we went into a modified, back then they had a Class A division, and Class A division turned into a modified division. And we went Stafford, Thompson, we raced all over. Then I bought a business, and I couldn't afford to run the modified no more, so we built a pro stock.
Well, as I look here, I see, on the side of me, I see the 11 and the 10. Apparently you own both of them?
Yes.
So apparently your business must be doing well then?
Yes, doing very good.
One more question. How do you compare Seekonk Speedway tours like Thompson, Riverside? How does it handling, and do you like racing here better than any of the other tracks?
Seekonk has always been a competitive track. It's a hard track to drive compared to other tracks. It's probably the least expensive track to run. So that's why we're here. It is close to home.
That's what a lot of drivers say, is it's close to home. Well, thank you very much for talking to me, Vinny Who, and we're going back to the track. I'm standing in front of Dick Houlihan. He's stepping in to drive the 41. Can you give us a little insight on how come you're driving the 41 tonight?
Yeah, Lenny Ellis got in an accident here a couple weeks ago, hurt his shoulder. He's playing car owner now, very depressed about that, but I guess I'm going to fill in for him for a couple of weeks.
So how long has it been since you've been here at Seekonk?
We ran here last year a couple of the open shows, but I haven't run here in 2 years on a regular Saturday night basis.
So have you gone out and practiced at all today?
Yeah, we took the car out for a couple practices, and the car was going real well. I'm really, really happy with it. We got a good shot in the heat to start up front, and hopefully we can pull a win off.
What are your aspects as far as the future in your own car?
Well, right now at lead, we come out of there last night with a point lead. We finished third, and I'd really like to try to get a championship out of it. It's still early in the year, but if we can just stay consistent and have a little bit of luck, we might be lucky enough to win one.
Now, you said you're driving this for about 4 weeks for him?
He said somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks. They really don't know what's wrong. He's got to go for an MRI tomorrow. He'll know a little more, and we'll just play it by ear. I don't know how long it's going to be.
Well, even though it's not your car, do you have anyone that you like to thank as your own sponsors or his sponsors, or especially him?
Well, I'd like to thank Lenny for even giving me the opportunity. I couldn't believe he called me. I mean, I'm honored at that, and I'm actually flattered that he picked me out of. There's a lot of guys sitting around that could be doing this, and all his sponsors, J&R Precast for helping me out, and that's about all I can say.
What do you think as far as bringing your car to Seekonk?
We'd love to bring our car here, but it's not a legal car for here. It's a different type chassis, and last year you could run it in the open shows, but it's not a legal Saturday night car, so that's why we don't run here.
Well, good luck in wherever you race, and good luck tonight. And we're going back to the track. Of Stacey Moulton by the Cat Country number 16 street stock. And as I was talking to you earlier off camera, you said that you have been racing for about 4 years.
Yeah, we have. We started here a couple years ago or 4 years ago after helping somebody else on a car for a couple years, and we decided to do something on our own. We got Rookie of the Year the first year, had 2 feature wins, and we've been winning every year since we've been starting. Last year we had a real good year. We picked up six feature wins, one at Thompson Speedway, and we finished second up at the Street Stock Nationals up in Lee, New Hampshire. So.
Now, as I notice here, a lot of people have the choice of Camaros. Camaros, am I correct? Yeah, Camaros. How come a lot of people choose Camaros over like a Monte Carlo or things like that?
Camaro's a lot easier to set up. The leaf spring chassis is a lot easier, more forgiving, takes a lot more abuse. The coil spring cars, there's a lot more fine tuning to them that you can't really do with the rules that we have. So I think that's our basic thing. The only thing is if you go with a coil over car or coil spring car, when you move up into a higher division, at least you're more familiar with the way the chassis is and everything. But the way things are going now and the help that we have, I don't think it will be a big change for us if we do make the jump.
Now, do you have any plans for the future as far as getting a ride in a Sportsman modified late model?
We would like to find a ride in a pro stock somewhere. Cat Country wants to go with us next year. They already talked to him about it. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully we can maybe win the championship this year and see what happens. I'm not sure. I would like to jump into something a little bit bigger. I don't really want to go with a late model. Late model is so close to a pro stock money-wise. I just think you're better off going with a pro stock.
Now, even though it's very early in the season and a lot hard to tell for a lot of drivers, how well do you think you'll do by the end of the season?
I hope to be in the top 5. Our first year we finished 6th. Second year was 5th. Last year was 3rd. I missed a week because I was in the hospital. But still, we had 6 wins, and the championship's a great thing. I guess that's your main goal. But the way our crew is, we just want to come here and win every week, and that's what we tried to do last year. We had a lot of DNFs. If we didn't win, we crashed. So there was no in between. So.
Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank other than Cat Country?
Yeah, we have W.E. Prey Trucking out of Seekonk, Countryside Science, JZ Designs. They're both the ones that lettered the car. Goodman's Automotive, Meineke out of South Attleboro, Power Computer Systems up in North Providence, Black Hole Auto, Nat's Racing Engines for a great motor, great motor. That's about it.
Well, good luck tonight and have fun.
Thank you.
Going back to the track.